bit. It feels like a very different world as, hey, enough about that. We're into draft. We're into our match of the week. Weibo versus EDG. And Weibo on the blue side to start us off. Zyra is banned here, up against Uzi. And you're not too surprised when you consider that Uzi has played this the most up with their Aphelios, but LeBlanc final, Lyric, we know the story here. It has to be Nico, or that's probably going to be first pick.
Yeah, Nico. But I feel like Xiao's been one of those players who when he's gotten his hands on the Tristana, has been like so much better than any of his other champions. Only played the Nico twice so far this split, gone 1-1. So I am pretty curious to see what the side of Weibo do end up with here. Is Kai'So's going to be the other thing I highlighted for Light, because he really has been gravitating towards that as of late. But with the Nico left open, they are going to go for that, which sadly does kind of ruin the Tristana possibility, which in my mind just lessens Weibo's chance of winning, because Xiao's cracking the Tristana. But we get to see what EDG are going to respond with, because especially in that mid lane, Fisher's been known for the LeBlanc, the Azir, and the Akali, if you take a look at his career. So those are the three big ones. One of them obviously being banned away. Akali not really being a niche part of the meta, right? But not something you really bring out all too much. And then Azir, of course, could have been brought out. But it seems like for now, EDG are going to stick Fisher on more of a facilitating role with the Annie, which maybe is a good way to kind of have someone dip their toes into their LPL debut.
You're not surprised with EDG with the star talent on this roster. Let Fisher dip his toes in. I like that a lot. While on the side of jungle, maybe you get a good partnership up to give him a bit of facilitation as well. What's JJ going to pull out? Well, the Lee Sin? No. We get the Renekton instead here. Strong top side for Arla.
Yeah, it's been his most played. It's actually been the Shy's most played too, which is kind of funny because historically you don't really think of the Shy as like a big Renekton player, but serves as a takeaway, also works well on its own, but now opens up for this. This is a champion that we see banned so often, in recent series. Weiwei hasn't been someone who's really loved to gravitate towards it all that much, but JJ really has. So I like that they go for it. And when you know you're going against Uzi, and especially having Xiao on the roster, I wonder how much they're like emphasizing, like, hey, let's get a lot of like lockdown, bring in the point and click CC, and make sure Uzi isn't able to deliver, especially when EDG have already shown their hands of like having Annie Renekton, which sure, we know these champions can take over games. We've seen Renekton's 1v2. We know Annie can pretty much one-shot anyone later on, but you're really setting up Uzi to be your only consistent source of DPS.
Yeah, that's a good point you raised. I mean, again, it feels like old school Uzi, especially going up against Xiao, who it would be ironic as not going to be there, though. We get the Viego instead, so snowball potential here out of EDG so far.
Exactly. So, kind of just setting up for, maybe hints of old EDG with it only being DPS. This is definitely not, because it sets up for skirmishing all around top side, right? You have a ton of burst. You have lockdown in both your solo lanes to set up Viego to be able to come in and start getting those kills, and especially post 6, right? Getting the resets online. So this one is going to be quite interesting, and maybe signaling that EDG, maybe going to put some attention up towards the shot. And now with them also banning out Cassante, they really are leaning in quite heavily into that.
Lyric, I just want to say one thing. Might be irrelevant, but Quinn in solo queue right now is popping off with the amount of Renekton we're seeing. It is the Shy. It's a long shot, but long shots with the Shy seem like medium shots because of the man. So I'm just going to leave that there. It could be completely irrelevant for the series, but when going up against Arla, you kind of hope to see a skilled matchup out of the man. Cassante already banned away. Do you get rid of something like a Fiora? Do you go a standard route here against him? Do you think, he's got to play a tank with this comp for sure?
I would assume we don't see a Quinn. It would be kind of weird, especially when Weibo already kind of setting up for a bit of team fight coming through. I guess it could also be a bit of a pick comp, right, considering you do have that buy. But I will say, to your credit, I mean, the Shy already has played Quinn this split. Hell, it was only, like 2 weeks ago against anyone's Legend,
True.
So not out of the realm of possibility. Especially, once again, you don't know how much either of these teams care about the results in terms of standings when they aren't changing what round of playoffs they're in, right? They're just changing what side of the bracket they're on. And for Weibo, you're even relying on like OMG to lose, even if you do end up winning here. So we're going to see EDG now. Going to have to go with a bot laner. I think definitely going to need some engage coming out from your support role. So Nautilus going to be the go-to choice. And now Weibo really going to be able to get spicy with it. And we're going to get to find out what your boy's going to pick.
Okay, find out Weibo. Find out that counter pick AD for Uzi as well. We got star talent on both rosters just being pandered to. Look, Lyric, I know I'm ready to get disappointed. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm going to accept the tank. The Shy better be turning around going, hey, can I play Quinn? But no, they're probably like, pick Ornn. Okay, boss. All right, I'll lock it in. Look at that man. He's not happy about that. He's just accepted it.
I do gotta say, I feel like it fits their comp much better. Again, when you have the Pop Blossom, when you have the Moonlight Vigil, go with something that can set those tools up. And when EDG have already signaled that they have very strong skirmishing on that top side, you know, you want to get something that isn't going to be able to be easily punished over and over again. Is Uzi actually going to opt into the Sivir pick?
Sivir? With a new champion portrait.
Yeah, and right, I guess it will enable you to try to run Weibo down in the mid game with the on the hunt. You know, you have, again, great burst, great damage, great lockdown there. If you can enable them to be able to get in that range and really take advantage of what's going to be a strong power spike at level 6, and especially at one item over your counterparts, it's going to be huge. But also allows you to have some easy wave clear in the early game if JJ is going to be trying to maybe make Fisher more comfortable or try to set all up for success.
Well, it's going to be fun either way. I mean, look, that top side will be spicy. We know that EDG playing things a little bit differently than maybe we expected, but ultimately, I cannot wait for some of these skirmishes to come out as we get into game number 1 of our match of the week, of our final series of the regular season, I'll say, because the next one's a makeup series, but of the regular season schedule, Weibo versus EDG. Winner gets himself in a grand position in their playoff bracket. Now, of course, EDG with a win, I misphrased earlier on, with a win here, they will lock in 7th and guarantee their match against 10th seed NIP. Weibo with a win have a great chance, if OMG lose later, to get number 5 and put themselves on arguably maybe an easier side of the bracket, depending on who's saying it. But ultimately, that's how you want to end your split in such a formidable way. EDG versus Weibo, our last real taste before we get into playoffs in only a couple of days. In our quick LPL split, we welcome you back a second last time for the night to Summoner's Rift.
I mean, hell, with these teams going to be on opposite sides of the bracket, potentially, it even just, you know, signals that, you know, maybe they wouldn't even be able to meet until like a lower bracket, losers bracket final in round 4 or something like that. So, yeah, pretty interesting to get this playoff stasis. The fans, both sides, out in full force.
Settle down.
Yeah.
The screeching must stop.
I don't even... It's even funny, right? Because you assume a lot of that being for Uzi, which, like we said, Uzi on the Sivir. We actually have had Sivir played once to split. I even believe I casted the game. It was LGD against OMG. Did not work out. Another thing that is able to, you know, buy that static shiv, bring it to, kind of like even doubles down on the wave clear, which doesn't really feel like Sivir even needs when, you know, having those bouncing boomerangs. But like we said, for EDG, very strong skirmishing towards that top side. Viego, Renekton, Annie, tons of bursts, tons of point-and-click CC to where Weibo, it's going to be all about the 5v5s later on. Call of the Forge God setting up for like a Pop Blossom and a Moonlight Vigil. The quickness is there to chain on top of it. And then even Weiwei with that ulti. I guess another reason why Uzi picked up the Sivir, right? Being able to have that spell shield available for all the CC that's going to be looking to hone in on him.
But I will say, surprised not to see the cleanse here. I know it is Sivir with Ghost and ulti. Fun to run people down, but still something worth mentioning that a lot of abilities from Weibo after the spell shield is down can still be threatening. As Mako starts us off with a quick dredge line, but level 2 is acquired here by the Sivir Nautilus duo. As all right, we know the Shy's going to get bullied top. This is what we expect, Lyric. It's on top side. He doesn't look very happy about it. Like, you look at his player cam. Is he ever truly happy when playing matchups like this?
Look, I disagree. I feel like we'll know if the Shy's unhappy if he gives us a 2020 special and buys the Doran's Blade. That's how we truly know he is not about playing Ornn today. But I guess he didn't, right? He's already bought a Doran Shield. I guess he could recall and like buy a D-Blade and double down on like early game strength, but that really wouldn't be good. But, you know, again, he did it before. He did it 3 years ago.
He did indeed. And it was against Suning. It was against
that was just kind of funny.
Top tier team at the time. It was one of his best games, let's be real, with the D-Blade. Oh wait, no, was that the rough game? I can't remember. He won the game.
No. He solo killed. He solo killed in lane.
Oh, he did too. He did indeed. All right.
The rough game was the rapid fire cannon in regionals.
That was not good at all. God, we have some stories about this man, whether it's on a tank or a carry. As LPL Viego, I guess that's going to start up a story. 36% win rate. Wow, I guess LPL Viego has been rubbish.
Has not been able to find its footing. Really has been, again, about a lot of these facilitators, the Vi's, the Sejuanis, the Wukongs, the Maokais, and setting up your team for success in team fights. Nice. Is crisp. Nice counter engage to make sure that nothing's able to be followed through, and just really aggressive trading, coming back and forth in this 2v2. Still going to maintain prio for EDG's bot side, and even we just saw JJ getting some nice vision there for them to keep trying to maintain this aggression. Even with Uzi having that cold start, you're going to be able to get a nice injection of gold a bit earlier on to try to hit some of those power spikes. But at least Xiaohu evening it out in this mid lane matchup. For anyone who's missed out and being like, hey, who's this Fisher guy? This is his debut. He is on EDG Young, which is their LDL team. Got called up. Yep. Was a trainee for T1, for Sandbox, and yeah, just relatively young player who has a lot of promise and has some hype behind him.
And again, like his debut to the LPL against Weibo, what a rough matchup to start his potential career as well. You know, it might be just, as we're saying, EDG trialing out this mid laner before playoffs, see what he can provide. And Lyric also mentioned that he hopes, like I do, that this is going to be a full series to see what this young talent's got. While against Xiaohu, it has been a rough start to the lane. Some good bullying coming through, but he is also versing a Nico. So I think this is the perfect tester for him, Lyric, as Xiaohu is going to get a bit of aggression coming through with JJ invading at the same time.
Oh, and yeah, actually just going to circumvent everything and just sneak down to the spot lane.
Oh, wow.
Ward isn't going to spot him out, so it's all going to be enough. Mako can find a hook here.
But again, the problem is, look how far away he's got to come in as Crisp just gets out. No Ignite follows through. Crisp runs back to his 80 carry, and Mako and Uzi can't do too much. Limited mana down in this 2v2 as well, as Light and Crisp continue sitting back against the turret, but should be happy now that they've circumvented pretty much everything so far.
Oh, but look at Weiwei. He's making his way down, and JJ has a level advantage, so he's going to have some more damage there. But Weiwei not afraid from the fact that Mako and Uzi got forced low.
Chris Flash gets the jungle flash out of it as well. What can you do? Weibo's bottom lane much healthier.
You even, on the minimap, we can even see Xiao, who had already started to move down. He's been maintaining prio in mid lane, has level 6. So I think good call by JJ to go for the flash. And now it's going to set up for Weibo to be able to get this first dragon. So Weibo overall, nice reads, especially from their bot lane, right? We saw JJ wasn't spotted on any sort of ward, but I think just reading, hey, the Shy's, you know, absorbing pressure in top side. He's sitting under his tower. He's doing just fine. Where can JJ be? It has to be around bot. They don't allow themselves to get ganked, and it sets up for the play to be able to come through. So now no flash on the Viego. Gonna limit him a little bit, maybe make him especially an easier target in these fights, right? Especially when you have so much lockdown coming from the Weibo side. Weiwei and Crisp gonna be able to bring so much to the table.
Yep, along with the Shy as well on some of the fights that we get to see. CC galore. Again, it's going to be fun watching Uzi, maybe even Fisher, towards these next couple of fights. As we kick the game off, it is just EDG using the aggression. And Lyric using their priority towards his top side with Arla. Take away the blue buff, that's an easy steal. JJ now hits level 6 and running his Viego skin. What a good day, what a good game to be JJ, who's representing his world championship.
Yeah, representing. And, you know, that's one thing, you know, members of EDG have, like people like JJ make a world championships where a lot of members of Weibo, other than the Shy, looking for, I guess Crisp as well, right? But Xiaohu, I think that has been the title that has eluded him. Because that's something I want to bring up. Not to be that, you know, hey, Mr. Caster, stop forcing this narrative, but Xiaohu against Uzi, right? Because I think a lot of people are going to think back and think Uzi being this big-time champion. Xiaohu actually is the player with the most LPL titles. He's tied with Clearlove. He has 5. I think really has cemented himself as like the legacy of that RNG team to where Uzi only has 2. But Uzi might be able to find a kill here, but not when you're against a HYCAN, who just has so much damn mobility. But yeah, point is, right, I think in hindsight, a lot of people might think because Uzi was such a great player and, you know, one of the best ADs, if not the best to ever play, but it's Xiaohu who really did bring RNG so much domestic success in the LPL.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, if we're heading the trajectory we are, JDG members might start picking up pace on that one as Need to pause and talk about the Herald. JJ around the wing. Arla coming in strong as well, but the Shy has ulti now to use it. Stuck in one place. The Shy's like, no, we don't need to ulti him because first blood already goes to Xiaohu. As Weibo now gain priority around the Herald. Fisher is coming in as he flash ultis in his debut on the jungle, but the Herald's still going to be taken away as Weibo trying to find the fight after the thought, but Uzi has roamed up here. Boomerang just out of range as Mako takes the kill, but now for Xiaohu in a pickle himself. He flashes out. It's Chris to get the Herald, but a couple of kills that come through in the end as EDG end up trading off.
Yeah, Weibo, you know, wanting their cake and eating it too, playing up towards the top side, finding the initial pick while also sticking on the Herald. EDG were the team who rotated their bot lane first, set them up to have numbers advantage to be able to get the 1-for-1. So overall, nice that EDG were able to find something back, but like you said, with Weibo getting the Herald, that's all that matters. But it's here, leaning down first, but at the same time, Xiaohu's already here. Fisher's still making his way over, so it gives them that first pick, but look at the minimap. Nautilus, Silver already here, Ophelio's still quite far away, so it opens up for the initial pick to come out. Exhaust does a bit to make sure that Weiwei doesn't go down right away, but with the on the hunt coming out from Uzi, Mako's able to run him down, and they are able to get one back. So that rotation really being the difference maker, and that came from Crisp roaming early, which allowed Uzi and Mako to get the full way push and roam before light can come up.
A best observer and top side in the meantime. Just a little side note that with that 1-for-1 trade, with you talking about Chris getting priority, the kill does go to Xiaohu. Xiaohu versus Mako in this bottom side, but we have to pause because Light's going to get ulti. Depth charge there. Jeje about to launch on in, but Light, he misses. Jeje misses that Spectral Maw, and to save the day is Weiwei. Light gets the kill, as now Jeje's in a lot of trouble. The Heartbreaker after the flash, but Gravitum, where's the cooldown at? Light flashing forward, gets the ultimate, or rather the range. And it's a double kill over to Weibo's bottom lane. They are ignited here in the early game.
Weibo coming to play today. Beautiful engage, I guess counter engage, coming out to make sure that they find some kills. Did expend a lot of summoners, but going to be able to get this wave in. Uzi at least will pick it up, but starting to cement themselves a meaningful gold lead. And that's even without using the Herald yet, right? So you would expect it to go even further, as we're going to see here. JJ is spotted initially on this ward, but Vi already being on this side of the map, so Weiwei not too far away. An ult comes out, but no follow-up immediately, as we see Spectral Maw, like you said, not connecting from JJ, and then they're just able to pounce on Mako, who isn't all that tanky, and then just keep running these members of EDG down. I love that Light commits the flash to just make sure that they get this second kill coming through. Wait, what?
Bye, Fisher. Okay, we're back to live, and dude, Weiwei, 100% kill participation. Whatever's going on in this game, Crisp and Weiwei are making sure, well, it happens damn fast.
You were highlighting it right, Weiwei really being one of the difference makers for Weibo coming into this split. I'll always be a Weiwei lover for his contributions to the best team in League of Legends history in 2020 V5 Summer. But it is going to turn into, looks like another Drake for Weibo. EDG just slowly getting dismantled by this Weibo squad, but looks like they don't want to give it up for free. But no, they're going to have to back off. I guess no Heartbreaker on JJ, Flash not being there. You even have the Shy, you can see roam down to mid lane, even having called the Forge God up. Everything was stacked in Weibo's favor, had a skirmish broken out.
But as we come back and just quickly look at the replay before I say any more, was it Crisp in the end? It was indeed. Crisp just runs up, instant flash, and Fisher is no more. Welcome to the LPL. And with that kill as well, Weibo pushed themselves to a 2k gold lead. Double Dragon, as you mentioned. As the Shy spotted on the ward, Fisher is going to find him. Bellows Breath buffers though as Jet looking to get involved in this action. But you can't do too much against an Ornn, as the Shy just going to spot that out and leave as he has to go and catch back top.
Yeah, and I believe they swapped because Xiao was low, had to go for the reset. Is lots of action coming out, quickness.
Dangerous from Mako, but depth charge on the way back. That achieves not too much. So it is just an ulti for ulti out of support as the fighting tries to heat up a bit. But Lyric, what I was going to say before, it's so relevant. Like, we talked about how this series could open up, how the game could open up. Weibo are a fast-paced team. We know in the first 15 minutes, this team finds a gold lead. We know that they are a turret-playing team. EDG, it's not so much through the lanes, it's through the team fights. And I guess what we are seeing is not only relevant in the draft, but the styles that these teams have been playing all split.
And it's kind of interesting. I'm happy that you bring that up because, hell, even EDG, I think, kind of opting into something a little bit different than what we typically see from them, and especially what the stats showed, right? A little bit more early aggression coming through, a little bit more skirmish heavy, trying to set up for this Viego early on to where Weibo, I think if we get to the late game 5v5s, this is where they will excel. And this not being one of those comps where, again, they leaned heavily into the whole static Shiv meta, played, you know, to just out-rotate you and kind of out-mind game you on the map. So both teams definitely changing it up coming into this series. For Weibo, I don't think that's a big deal because, I mean, you need to be able to play these kinds of compositions, especially heading into playoffs. And so far, maneuvering it quite well. Xiaohu, I think, being a big catalyst for that, and especially Chris, we've seen. I mean, he's gotten so much done alongside Weiwei. Now with Herald going to come up in 30 seconds, moving over, getting topside control. With Xiaohu not having TP, he's going to have to constantly lean up to make sure that they can go for that play. But Fisher doesn't have TP either. So
true.
I think Weibo doing a nice job of getting the setup, but EDG definitely going to need to match once Fisher gets his recall off.
Weibo have River first. Crisp is looking for some deep vision himself as JJ and Mako split off. I mean, that's the flash forward. Instantly shoved into the wall. JJ has to flash over and Heartbreaker out of there, but with no jungler. Second Herald for Weibo seems ever so likely now.
She's going to be able to pick this one up. EDG still posturing. Even if they buy time, maybe they can find a fight, but Weibo are doing this so fast, it would be overzealous. And look at Chris. Fisher.
Okay, the engage comes through. Weibo are split up, but the Pop Blossom flying through gives Xiaohu two members. Mako in the middle, going to get popped up himself to Shy to get the ulti on return. That means Arla gets to free roam the fight, but Light heading forward. That does nothing. Even a 3-0 Aphelios with Gale Force. It ain't there yet as EDG are on the chase. That's a Boomerang Blade from the Uzi. As the Shy starts zoning off. Again, a 1-for-1 trade in front of the Herald, but it is still Weibo who got the Herald again.
Yeah, very similar to last game, right? Where we had like these a bit messy objective setups, but still, Weibo, the team coming out ahead. I thought the crisp flank would have been a little bit more meaningful. With how fast EG were on the trigger pool, it ended up not really being that big of a difference maker, but still, 3-0-0 on Lights of Felios, that's going to be a problem going forward. But we see here, right, Chris coming off on the flank can be huge. The Shy trying to set off Ala, but Fisher so fast to pull the trigger, it allows for this immediate engage to come out on the Xiaohu. And sure, you see Mako go down, but a lot of the damage dealers already forced low.
Oh, okay, Mako's just going to die once more. Weiwei, even though Weibo have been back and forth in this early game, I mean, it is this Vi that is, again, pulling the trigger, 100% kill participation, and giving Weibo an edge.
Man, I'm also really surprised looking at Fisher's build, having the Everfrost come out, which I guess you are going to have, like, some members kind of run into. Maybe you can, like, dissuade some, but you have so much engage. You're not really set that up well up for picks. Like, it doesn't really help any more in that area than just, like, a Tibbers CC would do anyway.
Oh, Fisher might be dead, though. Here comes the ulti again. Xiaohu gets it on the edge. Fisher locked into a corner. Weiwei again. JJ on the spot, though, will finally get a reset and take down this Vi. As now looking for a follow-up. Chris has to flash away from the Vault Breaker. JJ a threat as Herald stops right there, but still opens the turret. It is a trade-heavy game here, with both teams at least finding a swing.
EDG doing nice, not only to keep up in goal, with a lot of that coming from Ala in the top lane, and, you know, again, the level of pressure he's been able to maintain. But like you said, EDG, a lot of times being able to match these plays and at least make sure they don't go down too far and lose all too much. You're going to get the first dragon of the game, going to deny Soul Point coming out from Weibo, and those are the small wins you'll take, especially when you haven't fallen that far behind in the gold department.
Replay time. On to Mako. This is a little bit of a pick before we saw the storm down both sides.
Yeah, feeling all right to go for Vision. I mean, it's not like he was walking alone, right, having JJ right behind him, but not expecting the full force of Weibo to be here. So we're going to see Fisher immediately go down. Sadly, Pop Blossom not able to connect onto JJ, or maybe you could have more aggressively looked for a follow-up kill, but it sets up for the reset to come out, which, you know, like you said, then means Crisp and Show have to get the hell out of dodge.
But now, after we saw the replay, I mean, EDG were able to pick up the Dragon. That was the net effect of JJ finding the reset, finding the kill bot. He's got Trinity Force as well. So this Viego is going to be a lot of fun to watch, especially when you're talking about JJ on the champion. Weibo ahead in gold, but it doesn't feel like it's that significant at this point in the game, as Dragon also stalls out so EDG can keep playing this game. Lyric, we're getting towards a Baron. Baron up in that top side, minute 30 till it spawns. We have to remember in games like this with Aphelios, with Sivir, these are champions that can do it pretty fast. But I think more importantly, we have very ambitious teams like Weibo or the Rift and EDG who also can be quite explosive past the mid game. So I'll keep an eye on this top side and see what happens next.
We can see now they had vision, right? The members of EDG walked over a ward, so that's why Weibo feel comfortable angling up here for a fight.
Flash there. I mean, quickness as well. He can't even spell shield. Had all those abilities anyways. Over the wall, Weibo will continue. Mako in trouble next. Light's range, absolutely massive. A double over to Weibo. It's called the Forge God. Layers down Fisher. What a warm, warm welcome for the new mid laner of EDG. As now for Xiao, he pop blossoms Tivers. But JJ will still die to the Tangle Barbs in the end. EDG walking into a trap. And I guess watching the top side was the right idea.
And it's been the vision, right? The vision has been a difference maker. We've seen time and time again of Weibo having the knowledge and being able to set up for these engages. Ala doing his best to, again, keep gold even in the side lanes. But Weibo are just winning out so much more. 11-3 in kills.
It's been such a bloodthirsty game, at least from Weibo's side in the early game. The jungle support, this jungle support duo are everywhere in this early game. EDG can't play.
And we just saw the word highlighted that they had previously walked over like 20 seconds ago, which set up for this pick to come out with Chris coming off on the side. And then I love how confident they are in just being able to run down the rest of the play with the Shy TPing in. And then I was scared here that the Shy would actually end up giving over a reset to JJ and like maybe setting him up to survive longer than he had to. But things like Exhaust still being up and you having your whole team here, I guess really didn't leave much to be done. And now with the Shy level 13, right, we're gonna have to get the Ornn upgrades starting to come across the board. So Weibo were already set up to outscale, and I think play out 5v5s better at this stage in the game, but it's only gonna be, you know, more so now as EDG really not able to find the early lead that they would have wanted to.
True. I mean, the Sivir not doing too much. It's the strange pick from EDG's angle as Light is walking into JJ. Does he have fear? Well, with the depth charge, maybe he should. JJ trying to buy that anger as Crisp is now on the wing, but Xiao this time. Pop Blossom's big, but Fisher's counter's bigger as Ala slices and dices through the whole team. Looking for Light. This man ready to get stunned up. It's called the Forge God. Angles out, but EDG have pierced and pierced the layers of Weibo. They're now on top of Baron, and they've got everything they've asked for.
And I mean, the difference maker there, right? The Shy not being part of the play, Weiwei not being, like, not frontlining and allowing for Xiao and Light to immediately go down.
Gone.
This should have been Weibo's game. And now it might be all in the toilet, on the bin.
That toilet is better. It's a dirty one at this point. We need to see what the hell happened because, as you said, separation anxiety from the Shy maybe should have kicked in a bit sooner.
There's no bidet, and when there's no bidet, you know what's going on is
wipe. Okay,
he just used his TP. So now, right, Ala has TP because he never TP'd up from the previous play. So able to get in, they have numbers advantage. Might be a beautiful Pop Blossom, but look where Weiwei is as well. Weiwei and the Shy, the two people who you need to be absorbing this damage, not part of the play. And even how Weibo's comp works. Really need to be coordinating the engage. It does really well when it's on the front foot starting the fight and able to layer all the AoE damage. Without that, EDG are set up to allow like the AoE from the Dominus to then set up for a Heartbreaker to keep whittling them all down. And hell, Sivir only kind of enables that even more so with like the bouncing boomerangs coming through, hitting everyone.
Resets are everything as EDG start up this second dragon of theirs. The Shy going in, but he's stunned up. Again, over and over, this man standing still, unable to move, and takes a bit of a chunk of a health bar as well. Ulti comes through from Light, though. That hits 3. Is called the Forge God for the re-engage. Xiao layers down as well as EDG getting poked out, and Mako dead at the start. Dragon still the focus as Ala tries to go in, but no avail. Light is free hitting in the backside at a full health bar. As ready to go back in. Jeja's already picked up the reset, but Heartbreaker's out. Uzi dangerous as well at a half HP as Xiao looks for the flank. Gets rooted up. Fisher off on the wing as Light with so many shurikens. Chris looking to layer down. Fisher is one hit away. Good Spectral Maw as EDG getting TP'd on. The Shy has joined in and has no interest in Jaja. Instead, it's up to Uzi, who has to flash away, but there's no way he gets out of that one. He sees the Light in the end as the Shy picks up the kill. And Weibo lose the dragon, but this time the fight is theirs again.
Weibo making miracles happen. Still, we'll see if they can turn this into any objective when they have to go up against Baron minions. It seems like they're realizing, okay, this is going to be too tough, especially with Mako back up now as well. So they're going to back off. Sadly, not really able to steal away any camps with the fact that Weiwei having gone down. But EDG kind of split on the call, right? Wanting to commit to this dragon, so multiple members doing that. Like, look at Alo's position right now where damage is already starting to come out from Weibo's side. Sure, the Shy taking a bit, but now Tibbers being down from Fisher. Uzi forced back by Call of the Forge God feels like a difference maker. And now it's like, hey, Sivir not outputting DPS while Light being able to free hit in this fight. Fisher getting exhausted immediately, no Tibbers, means Al is all by his lonesome. And that's how Weibo end up being able to finish this fight. I like the call to have the Shy recall as well, bring him back in for a bit of extra safety to guarantee that you get as much as you can.
Fisher just trying to kite out the edge, but unfortunately unable to get the kill, as in the end Chris flashing away survives. But with those kills, with bot side being threatened, Weibo find themselves in a 2k gold lead yet again. Dragons are tight, but Light is huge. 3 items almost, 5-0 and 6, while Weiwei and Crisp has been setting up this game. Light has been punching down the ball at every angle.
Yeah, he's definitely been delivering, doing his job well, but I want to go back to Weiwei, Crisp, the Shy, because you were highlighting it earlier, like how hard Uzi's life would be, like all the CCS story about, and you were like wondering about things like Cleanse coming through because Special might not be enough, and we saw in that last fight, right? He never walks forward because quickness has popped. Call of the Forge God has opened up, like all these things that he has to worry about to where he's not able to really be part of the fight and output any of his damage is really making a difference in a lot of these team fights. So now, when you already have so many huge carries on the side of Weibo, you now have the Gale Force being upgraded onto Light, you have a stopwatch on your Vi. There's only more things to worry about. Xiaohu
has the flash caught out in river. Nothing up down that bottom side. He puts the thumbs up, but ultimately, you would have loved to have that summoner.
Yeah, would have been nice, especially when you look across the board. I believe Weibo still having a good majority of theirs up, and Uzi now not having his flash could have really been a fight decider. You know, a team like Weibo having all flashes up, enemy Sivir not having that could have been the catalyst for Weibo to get something going. But now you have to be a bit more mindful. Not the end of the world on Nico. You still have that rocket build available. We even see a stopwatch now being picked up by Xiaohu himself. So even if he does get in a bit of a precarious position in the next team fight, has some survivability to allow for the other members of Weibo to reposition around him and try to enable him to succeed.
3 items now picked up on Light, by the way. We've got ourselves the Lord Dominic's Regard, Syzygy, the upgraded Gale Force, of course, thanks to the Shy. Light is huge. Level 14 over Uzi's 13. Uzi trailing that 3rd item as well, which will be similar. Well, let's be real, it'll be the same. But Light, I mean, this is the story of the split, isn't it? While Weibo have been up and down, I feel like Light has moderately been the centerpiece. You know, the majority of the time, Light has been old, reliable carry, and in most games, has been the winning piece that's gotten them over the line.
Yeah, it really has been the bot lane. Even when you look at Weibo's MVPs, Crisp is 7, you know, kind of way up there in the MVP standings, and Light is 6. They've been the piece that's been able to deliver for. And it's nice to see for Chris because you usually don't see supports get all that many MVPs, and for Light to be able to follow up on it, be able to output as much damage as possible, and again be one of the best bot lane duos we have in the LPL, and to be smacking down people like Uzi and Mako. Like, these guys are legends. These guys are absolute legends of the game. 2 of the top-rated players in their role, and now Weibo getting a little bit cheeky with it.
Just Light chasing down Arla. I mean, no fear of the Renekton here in this game. GA now picked up by Arla, by the way, so that will give him a little bit more survivability, especially against the Spelios. Weibo hold control of the river apart from that Baron pit, which is now watered out. But after that's cleared, EDG will be blind. We'll have to walk into this one and fear the unknown of Weibo's team fight, as it might start with the Shy or the back end from Xiaohu. He misses, though. Arla happy to walk in. Nothing connects. Unfortunate here from the mid laner of Weibo as they go for round 2.
And, I mean, luckily for EDG, Uzi's flash just to be up again. So, by the time this fight breaks up, it should be here as engage.
But they've got numbers advantage. EDG are picking the fight. Instead, the Shy flashes away, and then in goes Crisp. Baron goes down, but they have to run away as the Shy stretch line back in. Knocked up. Bellows Breath does nothing. Depth charge on Light. The Baron, you split up. As over the wall, Light will be found. That's a world champion with his skin. You will not stand your ground. EDG with 3, and for the Baron, was it worth? The Xiao has the ulti, but he's rooted up under turret. Dredge line back in. Turrets do not stop EDG, as now Weiwei is all that remains. Mako will die to the turret, but it's a free dragon and possibly more of the map.
You've lost 4 Barons, and now EDG gonna get themselves on Soul Point with an Infernal Soul. And it would be 4 Infernals stacked up.
Wait.
As we'll see Weiwei here. Gets the kill on Fissure, gets stunned up. Fissure.
Damage. He's dead. I mean, there's Smite. 1, 2, 3. Weiwei. I mean, talk about carrying this game. Takes one for the charm, and now for Arla. Chris not going to find him out of range. His teleport going to be burned. They want revenge. This should be the double whammy. Call an ambulance, says Weibo. But who is it for? Arla trying to slice and dice out. Chris gets his flash out, but Uzi took the blast cone away from him. Arla wanted a way out of there, but he won't be let out as on the wall he dies. That's a little bit janky. Which side is it? It doesn't matter. EDG going to lose their top laner.
No way!
No! Weiwei flashes, and he's dead too.
He had to flash there because, my God, had Ala gotten away, there's no way you don't tilt off that. There is no shot you don't tilt there. So we're going to see here, like you said, Weibo committing to 2 calls, trying to use Crisp in the Shida zone while the Baron comes out. The thing I really don't like about this play is you have a Sivir. You have that on the hunt that's going to give you the movement speed. So, of course, you're going to be able to run down the other members once they're done finishing off the Baron. So Light thinks he can survive with Cleanse with Flash. No. JJ able to follow up with the Heartbreaker over the wall. And then even Xiaohu overstaying in mid, thinking he's fine with Baroned up minions into that turret. But EDG are 5 members strong. They can dive you easily. And now we're at a point where an extra 15% damage coming through for EDG from these 3 Infernal Drakes being stacked up, 1 away from Soul.
True.
Weibo should have never been in this position. Twice now, throwing the game around Baron. I guess not exactly a throw as they are still up, but...
I mean, they're not the cleanest team. We know this. We know that Weibo, there's a reason that this team didn't finish in top 4, you know, top 3 even, as a lot of people expected. Hell, even in spring, I think I expected the same thing. Weibo play with their hearts, and sometimes that's a bad thing. Is I will say, Lyric, the game is still in their favor, about 1,000 gold, but we are getting to the point where gold is getting... It's not irrelevant yet, nowhere near, right? But we are fast approaching that, and we also have Weibo with an Ornn. So 1k gold, more like 3 or 4 with the item value that's now being given out. They're trying to find a pick. They're trying to keep this game in their favor. Because as you were saying, team fighting with this Ornn in the late game, it feels like Light should have a field day. But EDG keep getting these picks, keep getting these massive ulti plays that are giving a bit of room to Uzi, who is a Sivir. And Sivir scales like nobody's business.
Well, like, you're pointing out these Ornn items, right? And, like, the upgrades equal out to about, like, you know, 1,000 gold worth of stats each. And I'm not a math buff. I'm not, you know, I'm not Molecule or someone's going to be able to tell you the numbers. But, like, again, 3 Infernal Drakes stacked up. Like, we're getting to the point where EDG, I mean, they have a nice bit of damage buff to themselves and a nice stats under their belt, right? So, all it's going to take is one more misstep. That's going to be Soul for EDG. And then it might even just feel impossible for the side of Weibo. But we're definitely going to get to the point where it's going to be just one misstep decides the fight, right? Or even just one good play to kind of give the positive spin to his Chris.
Like that, Fissure! Debut huge! JJ gets the kill, but now his follow-up with the Heartbreaker could be even bigger. Gets over with the E. JJ actually carrying this as well as Fissure. The new mid laner, Fofo, better be quivering in his boots. Now for Weibo under the turret, they might get ended on, but Light, you need to kill Light! You need to kill Light! Xiao keeps him away from his 80 carry, but Light has gone away from the Infernum. Now, once again, EDG are looking for the push, but this time against the base 4 versus 2. It's Xiao versus the rest of the team as Light hides behind. EDG waiting for the wave, and can they do this, Lyric?
They might be able to. The thing I'm afraid about is JJ. He might not have Heartbreaker up. Let's remember that JJ is just so huge.
Dredge line. I mean, they need to kill this minion wave. Weibo still walking forward. Xiao with an angle here. Crisp has his flash available with the quickness. Dredge line out. Boomerang blade to dissuade him. But Weibo, look at the wards on the map. Xiao not going to convince a TP just yet, but the Shy's up in 7.
Yeah, the Shy might be able to, but doesn't seem like they're angling for it. Now instead just opting into clearing out these waves. I think it's the right call. Even if you found a kill here, you probably wouldn't be able to end, and Dragon's still far enough away to where you wouldn't pick up that one. So, yep, maintain, you know, presence on the map, push out these waves, try and clear out this vision, and make sure you get the next damn dragon is what Weibo need to do. Is we're going to see here Chris trying to clear out these waves. He knows they're over the wall, and he's just assuming, hey, I'm on the Rakan, I have the mobility, I can escape, and not accounting for the CC that EDG have themselves. Going to be able to run down the members of Weibo as we keep pointing out the Sivir ulti, and then reset City for JJ, who, even in the early game, when other parts of the map were struggling, he was doing well. Well, I'm scared for Weibo walking near any of these walls. Allah.
Hasn't been spotted. Weibo all to mid, but they flash, they commit, and they've found Uzi. Light gets the kill, Pop Blossom up as well, Mate goes next. While Arla was trying to make this big flanking play, Weibo said no. They now run mid themselves with no bot lane to be accounted for.
No, they're going to try and push this one down. They have supers to deal with. They're going to look for the end, and they need it. If they don't find an end here, like, I mean, Drake's still on the table, so unless they go for inhib, back off, take Infernal, we're going to see what the plan is. Nope, they want to commit.
And look how tanky the Shy is. Searing Charge doesn't connect. Fisher stands up, but he won't be standing for long. The new mid laner of EDG taken out as Arla jumps on in. Renekton onto Light, but no, he's out of range. That could be the win for Weibo. Light gets the fire away. Bam! 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 Next up, Arla, as he tries to run out of range. We go to the jungler. Weibo can do it! You're right, Uzi's going to be up, but again, Weibo still as a 5-member strong are shredding these turrets in our match of the week in one of our final of the split. Weibo need one more, but an engage trying from Mako as Uzi's back up. Ricochet! Oh, it's Sivir time! Uzi comes back up, fires away, on the hunt. Crisp and Light are being trailed down as Arla still hungry for this prey. Or rather, he the predator ready to take another bite. Away we'll go, and the game continues on for now.
Is the game going to continue on, though, if EDG are now going to get the soul? Like, finally, we've been talking about this for the past few minutes. That's why I was skeptical of Weibo looking for that end. Ala and JJ are people you have to respect if they're still alive. Now here it is, Light. Going to look for a steal, but is he going to be able to find it? It's picked up. 4 Infernal Drakes stacked up. And again, you have 4 of them. The damage is going to be huge. Light, though!
What? Just running him down. Wait, Uzi's dead again this game.
What is going
of the wrist. We are literally in a carnival.
Oh my god, Light is 10-1-8, man. Light is huge, but it feels like everyone is huge at this point in time. We're far enough into the game. The Ord items are online. The souls are here.
TP. The Shy, has he gone into certain doom? Pop Blossom comes out. Never mind. Another knock-up. Jed chased up. Hit away as he flashes over. Weiwei's here. It looks like as he's not able to find the final blow, Weibo will go mid again. And EDG this time might be the last.
The fight just does not end. I don't even want to break. Let's just go straight from Nexus exploding to game 2. Let's see if they can defend Hysterics.
They don't have Uzi this time. No ricochets. They're on top of Light, but JJ can't get a reset. A Searing Charge, great. Weibo will take the win after 30. How many kills? 45? Where's my math? It's bloody huge for game 1. The Shy will not look at the end game screen. He does not need to see it.
I'm telling you, send us into game 2 right now. I'm ready. Yeah. We don't need a break. We are riding on pure adrenaline, and I don't want the players to reset either. I don't want the players to come back calm, cool, and collected.